Look, if you're running a business, forklift safety is a massive deal. That's a given. But here's something a lot of people miss. How you train your operators can actually be a way bigger liability than one of their mistakes. So we're going to dive into how certifying your own trainers is probably one of the smartest defensive moves your company can make. Here's a question that might sound a little backwards at first. You've got that one forklift operator, the veteran, the one who knows the warehouse like the back of their hand. And you think, perfect, they can train all the new people. But what if that simple assumption is actually putting your entire company at huge risk? Let's dig into why that might be true. You see, the real issue here isn't just about day-to-day safety. It's a huge, and honestly, often totally overlooked business liability. This isn't just about checking a box on some safety checklist. It's about protecting your company from consequences that are very, very real and can get really, really expensive. First up, let's talk OSHA. If your training program doesn't line up exactly with their standards, you could be looking at some serious citations and hefty fines. After an incident, an inspector isn't just going to look at what happened. They are going to put your entire training program under a microscope. And trust me, any gap they find is going to lead to a costly violation. And it doesn't just stop with fines. An accident can blow the doors wide open to devastating lawsuits. If an investigation finds that your training was inadequate, you could be found negligent for not providing proper instruction. The courts will dig deep into your records, and if those records are weak, well, that liability shifts right onto the company's shoulder.
And this is the financial gut punch that so many businesses just don't see coming. After an accident, you can bet your insurance company is going to investigate. And if they find out your training wasn't properly documented or wasn't done by a qualified person, they can delay, slash, or just flat out deny your claim. And that leaves you holding the bag for all the costs.
So how does this all go from being some theoretical risk to a very painful reality? Let's walk through the chain of events after a workplace accident and see just how quickly that spotlight swings over to the trainer. This quote absolutely nails the heart of the problem. It's not about one operator making one mistake. An unqualified trainer is like a poison pill for your entire system. They are the weak link that makes every single person they've ever trained a potential liability for your company.
And OSHA is crystal clear on this. An unqualified trainer isn't just someone who's, not a great teacher. It's someone who cannot prove they have the specific knowledge to train and evaluate people according to the rules. And the key word there you're going to see is documented. This really shows you the critical difference. On one side, you've got your seasoned operator. Yeah, they know how to drive the forklift, but they might also be passing along years of bad habits, and they have zero proof they actually know how to teach. But on the other side, you have a qualified trainer. They get the OSHA regulations, they know how to properly teach and evaluate, and they create that compliant paper trail to prove it all.
And this is exactly how that chain of liability snaps together. First, an accident happens. Right away, investigators from OSHA, insurance companies, and legal teams show up. And one of their first questions isn't just what happened. It's who trained this person. And if that trainer's qualifications aren't properly documented, the liability zips right past the operator and lands, bam, squarely on the employer.
Okay, enough doom and gloom. The good news is there is a very clear, proactive solution that puts you back in the driver's seat. It's all about building your safety program from a position of strength by creating your very own in-house authority on the subject. The big mindset shift you have to make is right here. We've got to stop looking at proper training as just another cost. It's a strategic investment. The money and time you put into certifying a trainer up front is just a tiny fraction of the potential cost of fines, lawsuits, and denied claims. It's an investment in your company's future. Think of it like a multi-layered shield for your business. Having your own certified trainer strengthens your legal defense. It makes sure your training is consistent and specific to your site. And it protects your managers and supervisors from being accused of negligence. And, of course, it ticks OSHA's box for a qualified trainer and creates that ironclad defensible paper trail. And the impact this has on your company's risk level is, well, it's staggering. Just look at this. Relying on an experienced but uncertified operator leaves you with this sky-high level of exposure. But by making the switch to a certified in-house trainer, you absolutely crush that liability, putting your whole company in a much, much safer position. All right, let's zero in on the single most powerful tool this solution gives you: documentation. Because when things go wrong, a defensible paper trail is your absolute best friend.
Because think about it. Without any documents, your training program is basically just a he said, she said argument waiting to happen. But with a solid paper trail, it transforms into a structured, verifiable, and legally defensible safety program that proves you took every reasonable step to keep people safe. So what does all this paperwork actually do for you? It proves your trainers were qualified. It proves every operator got the right instruction. It proves you formally tested and evaluated their skills. Basically, it proves your company did its due diligence. And let me tell you, in a courtroom or during an OSHA audit, that is an incredibly powerful position to be in.
And that really just leaves us with one final crucial question to think about. When the investigators show up, and one day they might, what story is your paperwork going to tell? Is it going to be the evidence that defends your company, protects your managers, and secures your future? Or is it going to be the evidence that proves you just didn't take training seriously enough? Ultimately, that choice is yours.